Hey, Grace Point. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and that your 2023 is wrapping up nicely. A couple things I wanted to share. First of all, this is something we're calling a breath week, which means this Sunday there will be no in-person and no online gatherings. We're encouraging us all to take a breath, to do something that feeds your soul, something that rests your body. So if that's brunch, if that's sleeping in, if that's taking a nap, if that's walking the dog, whatever that looks like for you this weekend, we hope you'll take a chance and do that. So that's this week. There will be no new content, no online gathering. But if you are jonesing for some content, maybe there's something you've missed of ours on YouTube, or maybe there's something that really you found impactful, you wanted to go back and check out, all of that's available. So we encourage you to do that. Second, we start on the 7th of January when we're back together in person online. We're starting a brand new series called Good News at the End of the World. And it's a series through the Gospel of Mark. What we're going to do in this series is each week I'll offer a short summary of a chapter, and then we'll focus on a specific theme or story in that chapter. And that'll take us all the way up to Easter. And so that's the plan. On the 7th, I'm going to begin with just sort of a historical, contextual, putting Mark in its context, so everybody has a general understanding of what the context would have been. And because, as we all are learning and know, context shapes meaning. And so that's what we're going to start the very first week of the year. And I wanted to just recommend a few resources if you'd like to order them or pick them up and get ahead. The first is there's a series of commentaries called Commentaries with Conversations with Scripture. This is on the Gospel of Mark by the renowned, brilliant, late scholar Marcus J. Borg. This is a really short commentary. It is one that has a lot of summary, and of course Dr. Borg, brilliant, shaped so much of my theology and continues to do so. And so I would encourage you to pick up this Conversations with Scripture, the Gospel of Mark by Marcus J. Borg. Next, we have this book by our dear friend Amy Jill Levine, The Gospel of Mark, A Beginner's Guide to the Good News. I was fortunate to be asked to write a blurb for this book, so I thought maybe I would just read this and you would get a little bit of a taste of what inspired me and what I loved about it. Here's what I wrote. A.J. Levine, once again, through her brilliant, accessible scholarship, opened up the Bible in fresh and exciting ways. I was amazed at how many times I was taken by surprise by a detail or observation that I just hadn't seen before. You'll want a highlighter on hand when you read this book. So when you're ordering AJ's book, get a pack of highlighters. You'll definitely need them for this. Just a great read. And then finally, this is a little more, you can see this is kind of thick. This is a little more to chew on. It's definitely a thick book, but it's absolutely interesting and brilliant. It's called Binding the Strong Man, a political reading of Mark's story of Jesus by Ched Myers. Really, really recommend. I'm about to start going through it again just so it's fresh in my brain as we are talking about the Gospel of Mark. So I really encourage you to pick any of these up. There are other resources I'll mention as we go throughout the series. And to just respond to a question no one's asked is, why are we spending time going through the entire book of the Bible? Well, it's because I love the Gospel of Mark. I feel like it's really, really important to listen to the entire album that an artist creates. And we often just pick stories here from there, but I want us to hear the notes that Mark is playing and what he's doing throughout the gospel. And I just think it'll be interesting. This is not going to be some dry, boring, dusty verse by verse through the Bible. This is going to be hopefully something provocative, insightful, engaging, something that maybe we hear stories that you've heard before, but within their context, they sound completely different notes. And so I hope that you will find this book as fascinating, as interesting, as wonderful as I do. And I'm looking forward to jumping back into it on January 7th. We will see you in person, online, 9 and 11, and we can't wait.